Hey everyone, it's Lucky with Unfiltered Lucky. And today I want to do an update in the Travis Decker case. Now, if you remember back in June, we talked about this case where Travis Decker, a military veteran, had picked up his three young daughters, ages 5, 8, and 9, from his ex-wife, Whitney Decker, in Washington. Now, Whitney Decker had been trying to limit Travis's visitation because she believed that he was having some mental issues. She also informed the courts that Travis was homeless. He was living in his truck, and he was also living at campsites and out of random hotels. So she wasn't real confident in his ability to care for their daughters. Although Travis Decker was obviously upset about the accusations that Whitney was making in child court, he was described as a great dad, and he wanted to maintain some sort of visitation with his little girls. So on May 30th, he picked up his three daughters from his ex-wife, Whitney. She says that they spoke for about 15 to 20 minutes, and he seemed completely normal, and then they left. Now, Travis told Whitney that he would see her at 8 p.m. that night. And when he didn't show up, she began to get worried. And she began to call his phone, which was going straight to voicemail. So the next day, on May the 31st, Travis and his daughters didn't show up to a planned 5K run event that his little girls were supposed to take part in. And this obviously worried Whitney Decker. She couldn't get a hold of Travis. Her calls were going straight to voicemail, so she called law enforcement. And the state of Washington did not believe that this rose to the occasion of an Amber Alert. They didn't believe that it fit the criteria, but they did put out a missing persons report. Now, this entire time, Whitney Decker is trying to get a hold of Travis to no avail. On June 2nd, at approximately 3 p.m., law enforcement locates Travis's truck, and it's at a campground called Rock Island Campground in Chelan County, Washington. Now, when they find this truck, they begin to look for Travis and the girls, and unfortunately, they find the girls just a short distance away, and all three of them have had their lives taken. They were asphyxiated with plastic bags and zip ties, but Travis was nowhere to be found. So the manhunt began, and law enforcement believed that Travis was on the run. A lot of people said that Travis Decker had survival skills and that it wouldn't be uncommon for him to be able to survive outdoors for months at a time. Now, if you watched my videos about this, then you already know that I never believed that. I always believed that Travis Decker took his own life within 24 hours of taking his daughters' lives, and I also believed that he was within a 10-mile radius of where these little girls were found. Now, a lot of people speculated that Travis Decker was trying to get to the Canadian border. A lot of people even said that they thought that he might be hiking his way down to Mexico. But I never believed that. I never believed that Travis Decker was on the run from law enforcement. Like I said, I believed that Travis Decker had taken his own life within 24 hours of taking the lives of his daughters. Because, in my opinion, he possibly had a moment of clarity and realized what he had done and couldn't live with himself. That's just my opinion. Now, there were sightings because people believed even months later that they had seen Travis Decker on some of these trails in the forest in Oregon as well as the forest in Washington. And when law enforcement followed up on these leads, they found nothing. And like I said, I didn't expect them to find Travis Decker alive. Just 3 weeks ago, on September the 18th, law enforcement officers in Washington announced that they had found some bones in a very heavily wooded area in the Cascade Mountains, which is just less than 2 miles from where Travis and Whitney's daughters' bodies were found. They believed that these could possibly be the remains of Travis Decker. Now, these bones were scattered around a 100-yard radius. So obviously, the wildlife in the area had gotten to Travis's body and scattered his remains around. Now, a week later, they confirmed that these were in fact the remains of Travis Decker. So because Travis Decker's remains were literally just bones, and it wasn't even all of his bones, it was only some of his bones that they found. Like I said, they were scattered around a large area. So there's a good chance that hikers in this area could possibly come across more of Travis Decker's remains. But they had enough to identify his body. Now, the decomposition was obviously so far along that it would be very difficult for investigators to determine his cause of death, as well as how long that he had been deceased. So there's still a lot of questions, surrounding Travis Decker. And now we'll never know why he committed this heinous crime, why he took the lives of his 3 little girls. My heart goes out to Whitney Decker. She lost everything. She lost her entire family. And we'll never know exactly what happened and exactly why, what triggered Travis Decker. But this case is closed. And although we'll never have these answers, at least Whitney Decker will know that Travis is not out there running around. He's deceased. So hopefully that will give her some sort of closure, knowing that Travis Decker is deceased and that she's not going to have to look over her shoulder for the rest of her life. Hopefully that brings her at least just a little bit of closure. So that's my update on the Travis Decker case. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you liked my video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I hope that you all had an amazing day. We'll see you next time.